Tonight's story begins with a doll that looks cute, harmless, and perfectly innocent. But behind its soft smile hides a darkness that has terrified every person who has encountered it. People call it the Labubu Doll, but those who know its past call it something else, the Cursed One. Everything started in the home of a little girl named Ella, whose parents bought the doll from a second-hand shop. The shopkeeper gave them an unusual warning: never leave it alone at night, and always cover its eyes before you sleep. They laughed it off, thinking it was just a strange joke. They had no idea what they had brought into their home. The very first night, Ayla woke up to a strange, soot-caked like tiny footsteps on wooden flooring. When she opened her eyes, Labubu wasn't at the corner of the bed where she had left it. It was standing on the floor, staring directly at her. She thought maybe it had fallen. She put it back and tried to sleep, but the sound came again. This time, the doll was right next to her pillow, its shiny, glassy eyes glowing faintly in the dark, as if something alive was watching her through them. Over the next few days, strange things began happening around the house. Items fell on their own. Lights flickered. Doors slammed shut. One afternoon, Ella's mother found the doll sitting on the dining table with tiny scratch marks on its hands. And the most disturbing part was that the doll's body felt warm, like a living creature. Terrified, she locked the doll inside a cupboard. But that night, from inside the cupboard, she heard a soft giggle. "Hey!" "Hey!" Ella's father installed CCTV cameras throughout the house. When he reviewed the footage from 3 a.m., his blood ran cold. The cupboard door opened slowly on its own. The Labubu doll climbed out, walked across the living room floor, turned its head toward the camera, and smiled. Then it quietly walked toward Ayla's bedroom and vanished from the frame. Now the family realized this was no ordinary toy. After researching its history, they discovered the doll was created by an artist who practiced dark rituals. He believed he could summon a forest spirit by binding it to a handcrafted toy. The ritual required the laughter of a child, pure, innocent, but touched by darkness. The artist vanished soon after performing the ritual, and only the doll remained. Whoever owned it after that either disappeared or lost their mind. Every account shared one rule: never leave the doll alone. The final night changed everything. Ella's parents heard her calling for help and rushed to her room. The room was dark. Labubu sat calmly on the bed, but Ella was nowhere. When her mother looked under the bed, she saw only tiny footprints and a dark, crawling shadow that slowly faded into nothingness. Ayla was never found again. The doll was sent to a forensic lab for investigation, but when the box was opened, it was empty. Labubu had vanished. Only a small note remained inside. "You left me alone, so I found my own laughter somewhere else." Since that night, people from different cities have reported hearing the same sound around their homes. Tick-tick, like tiny steps, searching for someone new. Some have seen a small shadow moving across their room at night. Others swear they've caught a glimpse of shiny, glassy eyes staring at them from dark corners, only for the figure to disappear the moment they switch on the lights. What's even more disturbing is that several second-hand stores have recently claimed that a strange doll appears on their shelves without anyone placing it there. Every time, it looks exactly like Labubu, and every time, a child who visits the shop becomes unusually drawn to it, as if the doll chooses who to follow next. Investigators still have no clue where the original doll is, or whether more than one exists now. But one thing remains certain: Labubu only needs one moment of darkness. One moment when you're not watching to move closer. So if you ever hear faint footsteps at night, or notice a toy face in a different direction than before, don't ignore it. And whatever you do, never leave your dolls alone, because you never know which one is Labubu. If you want to hear more terrifying real horror mysteries, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.